Good morning and welcome into the National Basketball Performance Centre here in Manchester. It's National Cup Finals weekend and we've got all the action for you live all weekend long on the Basketball England YouTube channel. First up today, it's the Sure Shot Junior National Cup Finals, starting things off at 11 o'clock with the Under-16 girls. That will be between the Richmond Knights and the Manchester Mystics. At 1:15, we have the Under-16 boys game between the London Stars and Milton Keynes Breakers. At 3:30, it'll be the Under-18 women, City of London Academy Southern Pride against Endeavour Ipswich Basketball. And rounding out the day, at 5:45, the Under-18 men will be the Charnwood College Riders and the City of London Academy Southern Pride. My name's Kaz Bullock, and joining me for the Under-16 girls game is Commonwealth Games silver medalist and Manchester basketball star Hannah Shaw, and we're going to be with you throughout the game, which is due to tip in around 7 minutes time. So Hannah, it's always a really exciting weekend of basketball. We've got the juniors today, the seniors tomorrow. You looking forward to it?
It's a great weekend of basketball, and these two teams especially have become synonymous with finals in the last few years. There's been so many Manchester versus Richmond finals, and they've all delivered in the excitement factor, so very much looking forward to this one.
They really have, and a lot of these players have, as you say, they were met in the Under-16 Junior Final Four semi-final last summer, and a couple of years ago played against each other at the Under-14s level, so players that have grown up playing against each other.
And no doubt will continue playing against each other in the next couple of years.
Absolutely. So if we take a look at the Richmond Knights coming into this game, they are the current holders of the Under-16 girls title. They beat the Milton Keynes Breakers last year 86-66 in their first win. They're sitting at first place in the Southern Premier Division with 11 wins and 0 losses, averaging 82.6 points per game as they came through the cup rounds. They beat the Greenwich Phoenix, the Sussex Storm and the London Greenhouse sports team. 6 players back today that played in that National Cup final last year, including Bade Izik, who's been playing in the SLBW for the London Lions this season. And Shayana Collins had 9 points, 9 rebounds in last year's final. She's bouncy, she's a really tough defender. And Hannah, when you've got players that have played in a final, they've got that experience, Richmond, the current holders, how much does that help when you come into a game like this?
Oh, the experience is so invaluable, you know. You go into a different gym, it's no doubt going to be louder. This Manchester gym is exceptionally loud. You're going to have so many more people here. There's so many more expectations on you, and just little things that change how you set up for your game. You know, you have to come out at a certain time. You have to do your walk at a certain time. You have to do your announcements. And just the overall occasion, it's lots and lots of pressure, but also that's a great time for you to show out.
It definitely is. We've got a nice crowd building here, coming to support the hometown team, the Manchester Mystics, first in the Northern Premier Division, 12 wins, 0 losses. They last won the Under-16 girls title in the 2022-23 season when they beat Ipswich. That was their 3rd title. They came through the cup, beating the Newcastle Eagles, Sheffield Hatters and the Milton Keynes Breakers in just an 8-point win in the semi-final. They were down in the first quarter of that semi-final, bounced back with a huge 24-point second quarter to take the win and move on to the final. So a resilient team, Hannah. They know what it's like to have to fight their way to it, and a team that are going to really put on a show today.
Yeah, I think Manchester Mystics are always known for being quite a gritty club. They produce a lot of players that, you know, there's a lot of expectation on you as a Manchester Mystic. There's a lot of finals and titles that club has won. So every player coming through that junior program knows and has that expectation.
Definitely, and a couple of Manchester players to keep an eye on. So Mojan Malik was at the GB Under-16 Combine this month. She was named into the All-Star 5 at Junior Final Fours at the Under-14 level last summer. A player that can score, that can defend. She's going to do a little bit of everything all out on the court. And when she goes off, she goes off. And Anya Williams alongside her, also All-Star 5 at the Junior Final Fours Under-14 level last year, and also taking part in the GB Combine this month. And that GB Combine, Hannah, we're going to see a lot of players that have been through that and had that experience this month and in previous years. And it's just a testament, isn't it, to the talent that we've got out there on court.
Oh, most definitely, and it's a great opportunity for them. You know, they've been to the combine, they've seen what the competition is like with everyone in their age group and who those coaches are really looking at. And so they've all been given feedback. They all have plans now as to how they're going to make themselves better, make themselves the most wanted person in that position. So yeah, I'm expecting this to be very, very competitive.
I think this is what we're going to see all day. We're going to have a great competitive fight between all the teams that we've got in today's finals, and then tomorrow in the senior finals at 1 o'clock the women's game tips off. That will be Endeavour Ipswich Basketball and the Brent Bulls, and at 4 p.m. it will be the men's game, the Hemel Storm and the Reading Rockets. And you can catch all the action on the Basketball England YouTube channel. If you're in the area, come on down to the National Basketball Performance Centre. Always a great atmosphere, fantastic weekend of basketball, so get involved. So we're just a couple of minutes away from tip-off, and starting for the Richmond Knights today, it will be number 6, Misha Akada-Leroy, number 10, Bade Isaac, number 11, Anya Scruton, number 28, Shauna Collins, and number 85, Ada Akiol. And for the Manchester Mystics, number 6, Jessica Jenkins, number 8, Mojan Malik, number 11, Anya Williams, number 12, Tiana Walker, and number 13, Marnie Friday. As both teams finish their warm-ups out on court. Manchester playing in red today, and Richmond in black. So Richmond, as the current holders, Hannah, they're always a team with a target on your back, aren't you, when you're the current champions that someone's trying to knock off?
Definitely, and Manchester are going to come out fighting for this. I'm just really excited, Kaz. I just feel this is a great start to this day.
It is a great start, isn't it? What else do you want to be doing at 11 o'clock in the morning? Not practicing. So we've got some great support in the crowd from the travelling fans from Richmond. And it's always great to see the travelling support, the hometown support here as well from Manchester Mystics. Both clubs with a really rich history, and the development of players that they have going through their programs is great to see, isn't it? I mean, Richmond, we've seen players move on. Chloe Vella, Niamh Raguet, not with the team, but now making, just playing fantastic basketball. And they're still just not replaced, but the talent that comes through is just as exceptional.
Both clubs are doing a great job development-wise, and Richmond are becoming a bigger name the last few years. They've certainly really found their groove and got the right people in the right places, and they've been really delivering, especially at finals. So, and as you said, the crowd support here is great, and it's nice to see. Manchester's quite far away from Richmond in the grand scheme of things. So it's great they've been able to bring as many supporters, and I'm sure they're going to be as loud as ever.
I don't think we ever have any problems with this venue being quiet. So as teams get ready to take the court, the Under-16 Girls Sure Shot Junior National Cup Final about to get underway. Can Richmond retain their title, or can Manchester finish with the win today?
Into the game for the Richmond Knights, number 6, Misha Akada-Leroy, and number 10 their captain.
So for the tip, for Richmond, it will be Shauna Collins against Mojan Malik. Now Shay Collins, Hannah, she's very, very bouncy. We know she can get up there. She's a great rebounder.
Very bouncy, and I definitely saw a TikTok this week of her grabbing the rim. So
she did.
Not that I use TikTok before.
So Collins taps the ball into Isaac's hands. It's Akiol behind the arc, going against Williams. Handoff underneath the hoop. It's stolen away by Manchester. Walker over to Malik. Williams, great drive inside, hooks too short, gets her own rebound. Ball's loose, but that was a good look from Williams.
No, really great drive and kick basketball there by Manchester. Just couldn't finish with a good shot.
And another steal for Manchester. Malik spins to the basket. Shot won't fall, but an offensive board for Manchester. Scruton. Ricardo Leroy. Isik with the cut inside, gets that to go, and first points of the game go to Richmond. That was a great cut inside from Bad Isik.
It was great. A lovely finish over the front of the rim as well. Manchester maybe clogged the middle.
And all alone, underneath the hoop at the other end, Marnie Friday puts it in. Ties the game at 2. Isik racing down the court. Shot short, but Bad Isik, she's got a really good running floater inside. And you're going to see a lot of those looks from her today. Deep 3 from Williams. Won't go, and it's Collins with the rebound. Collins, ball's knocked out of bounds, will go with Manchester. Malik spins inside, and a foul is called, so that'll send Mojan Malik to the line.
Manchester doing a really good job here, spacing the floor and then getting people to attack the middle. Richmond were tough to get a foul there because they had helped quite well. So I forgot the word for help there. It's pretty crucial.
It's quite a useful word, isn't it? So Malik hits the first and gets her first points of today's game. Mojan Malik having come through the Manchester Mystics programme. Playing at the under-14, under-16 age group last year. Puts Manchester up by 2. And it nearly intercepts the ball. It'll go with Manchester though. Good hands from Malik.
A great press there to try and put the ball handler under pressure, make them reverse the ball, but then having Malik there to just try and tip the ball away.
Long pass into Williams. Out to Malik, thought about the shot. Kicks it to the corner. Good save there from Walker. As Williams' 3 will go. And Anya Williams, if she gets hot, she is a really tough shooter to defend. As the ball's out, but it'll stay with Richmond. So some great work from Manchester there, persevering on that possession, finishing with the 3.
For sure, and really ramping up the defence here. They're picking up full court. They're trying to be a disruptor there. We had Tiana Walker there just coming and stealing the ball from behind, just trying to knock it out, disrupt Richmond.
Akiol against Williams. Gets it to Scruton. Scruton driving to the basket, rejected by Malik. And Mojan Malik doing a bit of everything at the moment. Akiol with the inbound, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Collins hangs in the air, doesn't get that to fall. Williams to Walker. Swings it round, Friday, 3. Too strong, but a rebound from Williams, who puts it back in. And a timeout called by Richmond. Head coach Chanel Mubeen wants to talk things over as it's a 9-2 lead here for the Mystics over the Knights with just under 7 minutes to play. So Hannah, maybe a slightly slow start for both teams that first couple of minutes, but Manchester found their rhythm very quickly.
For sure, Manchester's defence has definitely fed their offence. They've been they've got up the court. They've been as disruptive, getting their hands in, trying to slow Richmond down. Richmond here, they look a little bit passive or maybe a little bit shocked by this, but I have no doubt they're going to come back out. I'm sure that's what coach is taking the time out for, get them to settle down. They can play better than this, and they can bring this score back.
And it can be quite difficult sometimes, can it? Even though we were talking about players having had that experience, there's new players that have come in, but you're playing in front of a crowd at a time in the morning when you might not usually be playing. There's a few things in finals that are not like every other game.
So many things, and you can't have... I know this is Manchester, and you know you could claim home court advantage, but they don't play their National League games here. They don't train here that often, and they're not on the home side of the court. But it's different for them, although not as different for Richmond. But there's just so many other things that can interfere. You know, the music is loud. Is it louder than you have at home? Are you more tired because you had to get up and have breakfast with your teammates this morning instead of doing your usual routine? There's so many things that affect your performance, and this is where you can really show out and be like, you know what, I can perform in any environment because I'm ready.
Absolutely, and that's something as well that comes with experience, doesn't it? These players are at the very start of their careers.
Yeah, they've got a lot more breakfast with teammates to come.
So back out on court, it's Richmond ball. Collins to Isaac. Hands it back to Collins. Collins driving to the basket, puts it in. And coming out of that timeout, that's exactly what you want to see if you're Richmond.
For sure, just that aggressiveness. Don't be afraid of Manchester's defence. Go at them.
Malik. Ball's stolen away. Akiol driving to the hoop. Oh, and a great finish. Able to withstand the defense from Walker. Jenkins. Pass is knocked away, stays with Manchester. But Richmond having cut this lead to 3 coming out of that timeout.
Manchester struggling here a bit against Richmond's zone because they are clogging the paint, which means that Manchester's drive and kick offense is just not getting them the looks that they need.
Friday. Back to Friday. 6 seconds on the shot clock, stolen by Isaac. Isaac going all the way to the basket, and it's a 1-point game. That's a quick 6-point run for Richmond.
Just a great decision by coach there, going into a zone.
Collins stepping through to the basket. Won't go. Manchester coming back on the attack. Jenkins, and ball's out of bounds. As we've got a substitution for Manchester. Isabel Oldcroft checking into the game. Will give Jessica Jenkins a rest. It's a 1-point Manchester lead. Walker into Friday. Oldcroft turns and shoots. Too strong. Scruton with the rebound.
No, but that's a good look for Manchester. Get your big in the paint so they can shoot over everyone else, because they're not getting the ball inside against this zone.
Collins swings it round. Three's too strong. Friday coming back down the court. Malik almost triple team, turns, hook shot doesn't go. Ball's loose. And Leroy diving on the floor, trying to save the ball in for Richmond. And it'll be Manchester ball, but that's great hustle from the Richmond Knights. Williams with the free throw jumper, that's good. And that takes Williams up to 7 points of Manchester's 11. Scruton. Scruton going to the basket.
That's a nice finish, a lefty finish over the front.
We like a lefty finish. And back to a 1-point game. Richmond having done a really good job here coming out of that timeout a couple of minutes ago. Walker. Oldcroft finishes inside, and a great pass there from Walker. Had the shot, but could see a teammate open under the basket. Akiol driving, Scruton. Looks to pass out. Good ball movement here from Richmond. Okada Leroy!
Oh,
hits from behind the arc.
She had so much time to shoot that. That was lovely.
And ties the game at 13. Oldcroft. Not that time, and another rebound for Collins. Visick out to Scruton, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Scruton hits! Back-to-back threes for the Knights. Oldcroft into Malik. Has 3 defenders on her. Walker, her 3 won't drop. And you can see there, Hannah, Richmond just swarming Manchester as soon as they get the ball. But Malik steals it. Shot won't go, but Mojan Malik heading back to the line.
No, Richmond, they're doing a great job defending Manchester, not letting them get anything easy. Trying to force them to make bad passes.
Imani Friday heading to the bench for Manchester. Jessica Jenkins back into the game. And Nala Laycock in for the first time for the Knights as Shea Collins takes a seat. Mojan Malik is part of the GB Under-16 training camp last summer. Gets her first shot to go. And she was one of those players playing in the Under-16 Junior Final Four semi-final last year against the Richmond Knights, which Richmond won 53-50, but again, one of the players that's very familiar with this Richmond team.
For sure, and another close game, which is what we're getting right now.
Laycock finds some space inside, off the glass and in. And it's the Knights back on top. Malik directing traffic. Williams into Oldcroft, turns and shoots. Off the rim, but Malik's there for the rebound and puts it back in. Scruton. Laycock. And it's going to be a jump ball call. Jenkins getting her hands on it.
No, it's called the foul.
Oh,
putting her hands in. It's a little bit of a bear hug afterwards. But
So
A for enthusiasm.
So that's the first team. Sorry, first foul on Okada Leroy, third team foul for the Knights. Williams spins inside, out to Jenkins, long 2. Doesn't go, is it? Gets it to Akiol. Akiol driving all the way to the basket, bounces out. But that lane, Richmond are finding that space to the basket each time they get down the floor.
They are doing a great job. They just need a couple more shots to fall, but they are doing a really, really good job getting to the basket.
Oldcroft to Malik, 3. No good. And Akiol racing down the court. And you see Mojan Malik on defense, catching up with Akiol. And Malik's a player that plays with such speed. Long pass to Jenkins. It's short, but you can see the pace that Manchester are playing with.
They're really trying to push the ball. Oh, that's another big block by Malik.
Williams is going to wait for the team to catch up. Malik's there driving the lane. Oldcroft short jumper's good. And Manchester back up by 1. Back and forth basketball on our hands today. Isick to Laycock. Laycock spinning inside. Ooh, that's a foul on Malik. But you can see Mojan Malik getting in a really good defensive position. Each time down the court, she's in the way.
She is rapid. She's not even the first. She shouldn't be the first defender back. She was behind about 4 of them, and she still managed to get back.
So Nala Laycock shooting 2 for the Knights. 19-18 to the Mystics here with just under 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. Laycock, a player that was part of the National Cup winning team this time last year, has represented England at the Under-14 Tri-Nations tournament last summer. And second doesn't go, ball's chased down, will stay with Richmond. So a fresh 14 for Richmond. Collins going inside, high off the glass and in.
That was awesome. The quickness, the elevation, and the control on the finish. That was awesome bucket for Collins.
She hangs in the air like she's just waiting to see what she's going to do and then makes a decision in the air. 2 seconds to go. Isick will launch from the halfway line. Won't get that to fall, but at the end of the first quarter, a 20-19 lead for the Richmond Knights over the Manchester Mystics in Hannah, what has just been a back and forth game throughout.
Said it was going to be exciting, and they have delivered. This is very, very exciting stuff end to end.
It certainly is. So leading the way for the Manchester Mystics, it is Anya Scruton. Sorry, for the Manchester Mystics, it is Anya Williams with 7 points. And for the Richmond Knights, it is Anya Scruton with 5. So Manchester with 13 rebounds. It's very early in the morning, Hannah. I feel like I'm not used to speaking at this point in time. Manchester with 13 rebounds to Richmond's 11. And it's Manchester with 6 offensive rebounds, really making a difference. Richmond not to pull down an offensive board yet, but we always say that those second chance points, or those second chances you get are so crucial.
They're crucial. It's so important to box out and make sure you just don't. You've worked so hard playing defense. Don't just let an easy bucket go in.
We've got at half-time, Hannah and Nisha are going to do a half-time in their practice. I'll throw it over to them at the So back out on court for the second quarter. It's a 1-point Richmond Knights lead over the Manchester Mystics. It is Manchester ball. And a chance to go ahead here. Mojan Malik. Passing inside. Barton's shot short.
I think Collins got a finger on that first one. Just a tiny bit, just to affect it.
It's those little things, isn't it, that you don't see on the score sheet, but just those little things like knocking the ball just slightly out of direction, putting someone's shot off. Aziza Adebayo into the game for the first time for Manchester. 3 won't bounce, and you see how far Collins jumps in the air to get that rebound down. Akiol tipped away by Adebayo. And it's Malik leading the charge for Manchester, stepping through to the basket. And Isick at the other end for Richmond. Laycock's there, doubled, over to Scruton. Short jumper, Malik gets a hand on it. Manchester coming back as Jenkins Passes inside, but Laycock comes away with a steal. And she's going to slow it down, wait for the team to catch up. Long threes, too strong, picked up by Malik. And Williams inside. Looked like Collins again got a hand on that. Jenkins, shot doesn't go. But Malik with the rebound again. It's finally into the hands of Richmond. As Akiol gets bumped on the shot. And that will put her at the line for two. A bit of a frantic few possessions there.
That is one word for it. It was definitely scrappy. Just need one of them now to try and really take control, grab the ball with two hands, tell everybody else where to go. Well, direct them on court, I mean. And calm it down a little bit. It's just a bit too frantic on either side.
So Akiel shooting two. She had 5 rebounds, 3 assists in last year's National Cup game. Has represented Aspire for the South at the under-13 level. And second doesn't go, but
I've got a lane violation. Is it called a lane violation actually if you're the shooter, or is it just a?
I think it still is, isn't it? It's not a separate term for it. Maybe we should read the rules.
I probably should know, to be honest.
But a step over the line when you're shooting as the ball stolen away by Akiol. And jump ball is called, so great defense from both teams there. And it's going to stay with Richmond. You can see there, Akiol. And it's Malik again, just being everywhere on court, gets a hand on the ball, forces Richmond to have to reset. Isik out to Scruton. And a travel called as Barton forces a turnover. And we're tied at 21 all here. Barton, back to Williams. Adebayo with the rebound. Williams will try again. Not that time, but Malik's there to put it back in. And Moja Malik
grabbed that out of the air.
Cleaning up the glass, putting the shot back in the basket, and then blocking at the other end. Collins dancing through inside. What a move and finish.
Just found that gap between the two defenders, straight to the basket.
Malik, 3. Doesn't go, but chased down by Walker, so gives the Mystics another chance on offense.
There's that zone again, though, causing them some trouble.
3 seconds as Walker banks it in. With the clock running down, that's a tough shot. So it's a 3-point Mystics lead. Manchester picking up full court here. Richmond trying to save the ball in 2, get it to Laycock, need to get it over the halfway line. Won't do it in time. That'll be an 8-second violation. And Manchester picking up the pressure on defense here.
They really are doing a great job there.
So substitution for Richmond as Akada Leroy back into the game. And Elsie Fraser into the game for the first time. Williams into Adebayo.
Great block by Scruton. It's a block party today.
It is. And everyone's invited. Isik hands off to Collins. Scruton working against Barton. Scruton looking to get to the basket, has to pass out. Isik can't quite save it in, so it'll go back to Manchester. Williams to Malik. Has space. Shot doesn't go, but you can't leave Malik that open if you're Richmond.
That was wide open.
Ricardo Leroy sets things up for the Knights. Scruton. Back to Ricardo Leroy. Usyk. All the way to the basket. That's too strong. And a relatively quiet scoring quarter for both teams this quarter, Hannah. Just 7 to Manchester, 3 to Richmond after they had the 20-19 first quarter.
It was a pretty high scoring first quarter at under-16 level, but yeah, now defense is settling in a little bit. I think they've both realised that's probably what's going to win them the game.
Marnie Friday checking back in for Manchester. 3-point Mystics lead. Walker over to Malik. Adebayo under the basket. Collins fighting for the jump ball. Stays Manchester possession. But with 8 seconds on the shot clock, Manchester to inbound. Walker, 5 seconds. Friday, 3. Doesn't fall.
This zone here from Richmond really making Manchester have to shoot from the outside. That's how you get people out of the zone. You shoot and you score, and if you're not scoring, they're going to stay in that zone because it is stopping you.
It's a good tactic.
Yeah, it's very basic and it works.
Scruton working away to the basket. Gets over several defenders and brings it back to a 1-point game. Scruton up to 7 points and 3 rebounds for the Knights. Friday over to Walker. Williams has space. Walker with a short jumper, that's good.
Now they're doing a better job turning down those open threes, trying to get in a little bit. Can you get a better shot or a more high percentage shot?
Collins lines up the 3, sinks it. Tied at 28. Manchester looking to answer. Malik, she's got space. Williams. Into Friday. Walker will shoot and hit.
Walker turned down the first 3 and then was like, no, okay, I'm going to have to shoot this 4th one.
Manchester back up by 3. Tiana Walker with 8 points for the Mystics. Putting them up 3. We've got just under 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Malik over to Williams. Adebayo inside. Turns and fires. Spins out. Collins with a 4th rebound. Oh, drives all the way to the hoop and puts it in, and she's just got such an explosive step, hasn't she? The quickness.
So explosive. She waited for that defender to hesitate a little bit and then went straight past her. Manchester need to be having some help defense if they're going to try and stop her.
Williams' 3 doesn't go. It's Collins with the rebound and jump ball called. It will be Knights ball. And a substitution for Manchester. As Tassimi Kasinda checking into the game for the first time. Thank you to everybody watching live here on the Basketball England YouTube channel. Remember to like and subscribe. You can keep up to date with all the action on the social media channels as well. We've got 3 more games coming up for you today and then 2 more tomorrow as Usyk drives to the basket, draws the foul, and she's going to go to the line. But all the action from the National Cup finals on the Basketball England YouTube channel throughout today. There'll be lots of great behind-the-scenes content, lots of interviews coming for you on the Basketball England social media. So make sure to stay tuned all weekend long. Issik's first doesn't go. It's a 1-point Manchester lead. And for players like Bade Isik, Hannah, who've been playing for the SLB London Lions team, how great an opportunity is that for a young player like her?
Oh, it's a great opportunity to practice against grown women, because that's what it is. Practice against grown women to get, like, feel the physicality of the game at that level, so that you can then try and bring that into your junior. The decision making is quicker. Everything is just that bit quicker, that bit sharper.
It really helps you hone your skills, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure, and it makes you a bit tougher as well.
So it's Manchester ball. We saw Shayana Collins there with a big block. 0.1 on the clock, so it has to sort of be a catch and tip here for Manchester. As Adebayo won't get it to go. It's tough with 0.1, isn't it? I mean, it's very difficult.
It's a tough to catch and shoot a 3, maybe a little tip in underneath, but
tied at 31. Scruton to the basket. Not that time. Gets her own rebound. Trying to fight her way out of trouble. And at the other end, Kacinda puts it in, going all the way.
It's great. She took the contact and finished.
And foul called on the Mystics. That'll be the first foul on Kacinda. Just the 3rd team foul for Manchester. So Richmond ball, a chance to tie or take the lead here. As it gets into a Carter Leroy. Round to Collins. Collins kicks it out. Scruton's there, and it's picked up by Kacinda. Malik, Walker. Kacinda back to Walker. Walker catches. 3 doesn't go. And a foul underneath the hoop. So foul is on Shayana Collins. That's her 2nd for Richmond. So looks like she'll be subbed down by Coach Mubeen. You don't want her to pick up that 3rd foul in just the last minute or so.
She's going to be crucial down the stretch, so get her off now, get her a little breather.
Demi LeMay in for the Knights. Isik. Waits, fakes, doesn't fall, gets her own rebound and puts it back in. Walker. Adebayo going baseline.
Oh, it's a lovely spin now.
So Aziza Adebayo to the line for 2. And a substitution for Manchester as Anya Williams checks back in and Mojan Malik heads to the bench. And Malik with 10 points, 5 rebounds and 3 blocks so far in the first half. And for the Knights, Ade Akiol back into the game as Elsie Fraser takes a seat. First shot is good for Adebayo. That was a high arcing free throw.
It was high.
Player that's played for the under-14 Mystics come through the programme. Doesn't get a 2nd to go, but again we'll have a jump ball called. And I feel like this harks back to when we did the Tri-Nations tournament, Hannah.
Yeah,
I'd like to see a
give
jump
him
ball
that extra
call.
2nd, let him fight it out. See who's going to rip it out.
Manchester picking up full court. Ball's tipped. And we'll go with Manchester.
Chance to extend the lead.
said this is going to be a close game, and it has delivered.
It's lived up to expectations. As Williams into Friday. Underneath the basket, can't get it to go. Last touch. Looks like the Knights, so again, Manchester will get the ball back underneath the basket. Walker on the inbound, Friday. And can't save it in for Manchester. Carter Leroy, Akiol's there. Isik driving inside, and again we've got another jump ball called. Just shows both teams fighting for the ball every time they see it.
No, it's nice to see them be competitive, try and be aggressive. Manchester going to use the whole clock here.
They've got the time. Kasinda's three bounces out, unlucky. Walker with the rebound, 2 seconds. Someone needs to put something up here, and it's stolen by Isik. That'll be after the buzzer. But at the end of the first half, it is a 34-33 lead for the Manchester Mystics over the Richmond Knights. Manchester, having been led by Mojan Malik, 10 points, 5 rebounds, and a steal, along with 3 blocks. Tiana Walker with 8 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. And for the Richmond Knights, Shiana Collins, 11 points, 5 rebounds. And Bardi Isik and Anya Scruton adding in 7 points each. So, Hannah, as we expected, a really close back and forth game in the first half so far.
It's exactly what we expected, and it's been a joy to watch. Such competitive, such great defense at this level as well.
It certainly is. So, if we look, both teams seem quite evenly matched. 14 points in the paint for Manchester, and then 22 for Richmond. That's not that evenly matched, really, is it? No, but both teams drive into the basket.
The big one for me is the points from turnovers. Manchester have got 13 against Richmond's 7, so Richmond really needs to try and limit their turnovers, try and take care of the ball a little bit better, stop giving Manchester those easier opportunities.
And we've seen both teams run, get out into transition. Richmond with 7 fast break points, Manchester with 4. And it's going to be a case, isn't it, of looking after the ball, but when you force those turnovers, being able to capitalise on it. Manchester with 13 points from turnovers and Richmond with 7.
For sure, it's how can you really exploit the other team's mistakes to your game?
Absolutely. So coming up after this game at 1:15, we've got the Under-16 boys game. That will be between the London Stars and the Milton Keynes Breakers. And then at 3:30, we have the Under-18 women, the Kohler Southwark Pride against Ipswich. And the Under-18 men at 5:45, that'll be the Charnwood College Riders against Kohler Southwark Pride. And then tomorrow, the Senior National Cup finals take place. At 1 o'clock, it'll be the women. Ipswich against Brent Bulls, and at 4 o'clock the Hemel Storm against the Reading Rockets. And you know, there's teams here, Hannah, that throughout the day that we've seen through different age groups. We always know Kohler and Ipswich is always a battle, isn't it? That's going to be a fun one to watch.
Definitely, it is. Both teams have such great histories of winning titles, and so it's just going to be another competitive and really exciting showcase of basketball in England.
It certainly is. So we're going to head courtside with Isha Nair and Hannah Alty and get their thoughts on the first half of the game.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys. So I'm here courtside with Hannah Olsey, obviously Manchester Basketball Centre. Hannah, first half action, Richmond Knights, Manchester Mystics. What do you think of that game?
What a game, Isha. I mean, it really is a game of the best for this age group. You know, I think both teams absolutely scream with talent, and I just think this is such an exciting game to see, and it really kind of gives you that hope and inspiration for the future of what these young girls are going to, you know, bring to the court for us later down the years.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's been a pretty tight game so far. Obviously, Mystics are currently up 34-33. But first quarter when we came out, okay, Mystics went on a 2-7 run to start off the game. What do you think of that start from them?
Their full court defense really kind of went with intensity, and they were aggressive. They got those steals from Mojan and Anya. And I think for them, that kind of set them instead. It gave them that momentum, it gave them that morale boost, and kind of helped settle their nerves, I think, that allowed them to put those early points on the board.
Yeah, so for Richmond, obviously, they were down by quite a lot, not quite a lot really, but they were down sort of with the quarter. About 4 minutes in, the coach took a timeout. Then they came out in a zone. Coming into the game, the Mystics thought Richmond were going to play zone for the whole time, so the man must have... Richmond obviously thought the man was going to throw them off. Came out in a man. Mystics were able to score quite successfully. They then switched into the zone. How do you think Manchester played against that zone now?
Now, Manchester did struggle, you know. I think it was very clear from, it's been from the first quarters, both of them, that they really struggled to settle into it.
Yeah.
I think the first quarter, they looked a little bit more promising because they were looking inside more. They were moving the defense around, moving that zone and allowing the zone to shift, which then gave them really good looks inside and good looks on the perimeter. However, I think going into the second quarter, sadly, they then stopped looking inside and they kind of held back a bit. That then allowed, they had to force themselves to shoot the three-point shots, which they haven't been as successful with, I think. So I think it was a really good shout from the Richmond coach, and I think Richmond really demonstrated kind of how clinical they were with their zone, and I think it was fabulous. Really good point for them to do.
Yeah, definitely worked for them because they finished the first quarter up 20-19. Manchester obviously have come on top at the half-time, so Manchester are up 34-33. How do you think Richmond, though, were able to capitalise off their zone then?
I think what they were really good at is really making sure they were breaking in transition. They were scoring lots of points on that transition. Once they broke Manchester's full court, they were up the court and they were really capitalising on those layups. They were really careful with their shooting as well, I think. You know, there was... Ada Akiol, she was fantastic. Her form, her layups are beautiful, and she's really strong under the basket. And same with Shay Collins, you know, she's fantastic. That gorgeous floater that she's got, I think it's brilliant. So I think for them, they just need to keep pushing at that, really make sure that they're driving to the basket, and if they've got a break on transition, they have to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at the box stats, though, the field goal percentage is quite significantly different. I mean, Manchester on like 50% field goal, Richmond are on what, late 20s, 27%, something like that. So going into the second half, what do you think the Richmond coach is saying to them in the changing room right now?
I think for them, it's all about making sure that they're keeping up this defensive pressure, and really making sure that they're getting their hands in the way of the passing lanes in this zone, and they're just capitalising on those second chance points and really making sure that they're attacking the basket hard. You know, I really want to see some more rebounding from them, though. You know, I think they've got Anya Scrunton, who's really tall and she's really confident with the three, and it's great to see, but I would like to see a few more rebounds. I think both defensively and offensively as well. You know, and you've got quite a few players there from the bench that are coming off and really impacting the game, and they're just being tough, and I think they just need to continue that, and the coach needs to really build on this momentum now.
Yeah, so then if we go and take a look at Manchester, obviously they've got 1 point lead at half-time. What do you think Coach Joe Andrew will be saying to them right now?
I mean, for them, again, I think they just need to be a bit tighter on this full court press. They really need to make sure that they're, you know, they're getting in the hands in the passing lanes and sticking to their man. They've got to get contact. I think a lot of the time when they're giving up a little bit on the break, so that's where the transition defense really lacks, and I think that's something that Joe Andrews should be, you know, really commenting on and really kind of getting into the players that you cannot give up in a final like this. You cannot let those things slide. This is where they matter the most, you know, and for them, I think they really need to settle into the zone, look at moving the ball again, looking at where they were getting success, and how they can kind of keep improving on that. But for me, again, they're standout players. You've got Mubeen. She's been absolutely fantastic. She is really tough. She's got great confidence on offense. And the same with Anya, you know, Anya Williams. I think it's so beautiful to see this like leadership from a very young player already, and I just want to see her push forward on that. And the same, I cannot finish without mentioning Aziza. I think the impact she's just had then when she came on in that last quarter, she gave that momentum, she gave that aggression on court, and she was going after the rebounds. And I think, again, that's a player to look out for in the second half.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's some great players out there today, some great talent. A lot of these players have been in finals before, so we'll see what the second half has to hold. Back to Kaz and Hannah.
Thanks, Isha. Thanks, Hannah. As we get ready for the second half between the Manchester Mystics and the Richmond Knights in the Under-16 girls Sure Shot, the Junior National Cup final. It's been a absolutely thrilling first half, 34-33 to the Mystics. So if you've not already joined us, what are you waiting for? Get watching. We've got the rest of today's game, and we've got 3 more great games coming up for you on the Basketball England YouTube channel, and then the senior finals tomorrow. So it's just a whole weekend, isn't it, Hannah? What else would people rather be doing? I don't know.
Just a great weekend of basketball in a great venue, in a great city. So come on down.
I mean, it's brilliant. We're here. You know, what more do people want? So as teams get ready to come back out on court, what do we expect for the second half? More of the same? Or does that half-time adjustment, do you think one team might be able to pull out a little bit more?
I really think it's anybody's game. Both teams have been playing some great defense. Manchester's full court press and Richmond's zone has definitely been disruptive to the other teams. It really is anybody's at this point. It's been back and forth. No one's got a really big lead yet. Just going to be who's going to execute. Who's going to execute Caitre's game plan to the best of their ability.
Well, let's get things underway. Let's see what both teams can do. Richmond looking to retain their Under-16 girls title after winning last year. Collins lines up a 3, doesn't fall, but chases down the rebound, hangs in the air and puts it in. And what a start there for the second half for Shay Collins.
And that putback is so hard to guard. She elevates, she's so far off the floor. She has that control, that even the shot was high.
So it's Knights up 1. Malik going to the basket, doesn't go. Friday with the rebound. And a foul called on the floor.
Oh no, I think it's a clock. I think it might be a clock issue.
Oh, is it a shot clock not reset, I think? Yeah, so they're taking some time off the clock. It will give Manchester 4.0, no, we're going lower than that. 2.5 seconds. I should wait till they've reset it, then say.
We're down to 2.2 now.
2.2 seconds on the shot clock for Manchester. So kind of got a time for like a dribble, but it needs to be a quick shot. Friday will take it, and off the rim. Scruton gets it into the hands of Izek. Collins working her way to the basket. Ball's knocked out of bounds, and a great recovery there, though, from Walker, who ball stays with Richmond, but Walker able to knock the ball out because Collins could have just spun back around for the shot.
Yeah, a really good job there. Don't let them get the easy two.
Akiol into Collins, and they're going to take that again from underneath the basket. Isick, baseline, out to Scruton. Scruton, and that's a tough move. Left-handed finish at the basket, and we can see already, Hannah, just the way both teams are working their way inside that step through, that Euro step inside. It's working really well for them.
Yeah, these teams are doing a great job getting to the rim, adjusting their shot when the defense makes them.
short two drops for Manchester, and that's Jenkins' first points of the game. (37-36) to the Knights. Ricardo Leroy, high shot. That'll go.
Straight over two defenders.
And it's a 3-point lead for the Knights. The biggest lead Manchester have had in the game has been 7, so the biggest lead of the game so far is 7. Collins into the basket, too strong, gets her own rebound again, kicks it out. Ricardo Leroy's there. This is it, back to Ricardo Leroy, 7 seconds on the shot clock. Scruton, double teamed, kicks it out. Akiol's three spins out. And Isaac will knock it out of bounds, but you can see just chasing it down, just going after every possession.
Manchester very lucky there, though, to get that ball tipped out, because they did not box out.
Got to box out. Jenkins to Malik. And fouls on the floor. That'll be the first team foul on the Knights. So, end-line ball for Manchester, and that's foul number 3 on Anya Scruton. So Scruton heads to the bench, and Nala Laycock checks back in for Richmond. Jenkins lines up a 3, too strong.
Walker with the rebound though. And she misses and then knocked out again by Manchester.
Manchester again putting on that full court pressure defense. Zizic kicks it to Laycock. That was a good bit of boxing out from Jessica Jenkins.
It was good. I think she heard me.
Friday. Won't go, Malik's there. Count that, and the foul. Mojan Malik with the and one opportunity. A chance to tie the game here for the Mystics. You can see they're back on the replay. Malik's just able to position herself really well underneath the basket. She has so many of those offensive rebounds and putbacks.
Yeah, she's doing a really great job hunting down the ball, being on that weak side. And because of her speed, she's been guarded by players that aren't quite as big as her, and it's just easier for her to go and get that ball.
Can take advantage of that, and absolutely so. Knights look to get it in here. Ricardo Leroy to Collins. Collins swings it to Laycock, thought about the shot. Ricardo Leroy back to Collins, 7 seconds. Ball's loose, picked up by Malik. Has Williams ahead of her, passes over to Williams. And Laycock called for the foul. So Anya Williams at the line for 2. Oh, apologies, that was on Akiol, that's her first, not on Laycock. Williams hits the first, and as Hannah and Isha were talking about in the half-time talk, they were saying, you know, what a leader Anya Williams has become for this Manchester Mystics team coming up through the programme, and it's really good to see her out there kind of...
I still don't know how she's still under 16.
It's because we've seen her for so many years, it seems like she should be, she should have aged up by now. Isaac. Won't go, Jenkins fighting for the rebound. Williams has space to line up a 3.
That was really nice ball movement there by Manchester. Didn't get the shot to drop in the end, but really, really nice and selfish basketball.
Akiol passing inside to Laycock. The whistle there, that was a nice cut to the basket. And that puts the Knights at the line Chance for a couple of free throws here.
No one's getting a lead in this game, are they?
It's just, no, 7 is the most that we've had, and that was very early on in the first quarter for Manchester, and then after that Richmond timeout, it's just been
This
1,
seems,
2.
I'll go up 1, then you can go up 1, and then we'll go up 1 again.
Laycock's first doesn't go. Play it.
Nice from Collins there. Tell them to forget about it. Because don't think about that. Don't airball one, then have that in the back of your head.
Just take the next one. And just spins out. But again, stays with Richmond.
And if you are going to miss it, Collins will get the rebound anyway.
Yeah. Because she's got 7 already. Tough pass in. Annie Williams racing down the court, and a blocking foul called on Richmond. See there, Williams, little shuffle of the feet. So second foul on Akiol, and that puts Annie Williams back at the foul line. 9 points, 5 rebounds and 2 assists. And ties the game. No, sorry, puts the Mystics up 1, 2. Oh my goodness. She puts them up 2. We're still before midday, so that's my excuse. I've got 4 more minutes of waking up. Ricardo Leroy to Isick. Into Collins. Collins turns and fires. Doesn't go. Gets her 8th rebound. Kicks it out to Akiol, who hits from behind the arc.
There was no doubt watching her shoot that was going in.
Absolutely nothing but net, and that will put the Knights up 1. And how valuable is it for Richmond, Hannah, to have Shanna Collins underneath the basket, just fighting for those rebounds, gets it out to her open teammate and able to make plays like that?
She's doing a great job because Richmond are undersized in this game. They are not. Manchester are big across the board. And Richmond don't have that height, they don't have that. But they do have that. They are anticipating passes, they're quick. They're ready.
Akiol with the steal and finish. Akiol up to 5 points and a timeout called as the Knights go up 3. So it's just swinging again, isn't it? A 9-7 run for Richmond this quarter. Coming out of half-time, it's just we've just got more of the same, haven't we, that we had in the first half. Just an absolute battle between 2 fantastic teams.
We have got Manchester still pressing full court. I'd like to see Richmond come back out in that zone. That was really working for them before. Now see if they can force Manchester again to take shots from the outside that they don't want to take. But Richmond doing a great job anticipating passes, being in the passing lanes, and really capitalising on Manchester making kind of poor decisions passing.
So 12 steals for Richmond to Manchester's 10. And 11 second chance points for the Knights to Manchester's 13. That offensive rebounding though, 20 offensive rebounds for Manchester. More offensive rebounds than defensive. We don't see that very often. And 12 for Richmond. They've been catching up, but it has been those second chance points that have fallen for Manchester, and Moja Malik responsible for a lot of those with her 4 offensive rebounds.
Manchester's shooting percentages aren't particularly great, which does explain why they're getting so many of those offensive rebounds. But there's still plenty of basketball left to play.
Absolutely. As Malik drives the baseline, ball's knocked out of bounds, will stay with the Mystics. And Jenkins will inbound for Manchester. Malik. Back to Jenkins. 3. Doesn't drop. Adebayo with the rebound gets Manchester another chance. Williams steps through. And Adebayo underneath the basket. Again, high off the glass. Finished.
It's a great finish by her, but you know who blocked Anya's shot the first time? It was Collins again.
So Manchester ball from the end line. Still just a single possession game. It's neck and neck between both teams. There's so little separating them. Manchester look to go ahead on this possession. Williams out to Malik. And fouls on the floor. And that's going to put the Knights on 5 team fouls. So now for the last 4:27 of the third quarter, Manchester will be shooting when there's a foul called, and also that foul is foul number 3 on Shiana Collins.
Not great, because Richmond are going to need her later in the game. So can she be disciplined here and play with 3? Not to get herself in trouble, because she gets into 4 in this third quarter, she's going to have to sit well.
So if you're Coach Mubeen here, do you keep her in, let her play with those fouls, or do you maybe sit her for a few minutes? And
I don't know, because you want it to be a learning experience as well. So do you have to explicitly tell her, you know what, you've got to play defense, but you can't make any gambles, let's say. Oh, no.
So Collins will go to the bench, and Demi Lamie will check in. Manchester swarming Richmond here, managed to get it over the halfway line. And Akiol fighting inside for the jump ball alongside 4 Mystics players.
She did a great job coming up with that ball.
Renee Bacchus-Conte in for the Knights for the first time. As we pass the halfway mark of the third quarter, tie game at 44-all. Jenkins, Malik in the corner. Williams, 3 is good, banks it in. And Anya Williams puts Manchester up 3. Malik steals it, racing to the court, unopposed, will put it in. And it's a 5-point lead for Manchester, the biggest lead we've had in the game since the first quarter. Akiol has it stolen. And what a great couple of possessions there from Manchester. The 3, the steal, the score.
For sure, their defense is really feeding really good offense. And look at them, they're all up, they're all engaged, they're all trying to slow Richmond down. We're going to trap, maybe don't send 4 of you to the trap, but
and Bacchus-Conte with a big shot for Richmond.
Oh, they needed that, and what a great hit for someone who's just come in the third quarter.
Making an impact straight off the bench.
She's telling coach, you should have played me earlier.
So single possession game, Isick over to Scruton. Scruton with a short shot. Doesn't go. Malik, that's good. And this will be interesting to see how Richmond have been playing here with Collins on the bench, who's played a heavy minutes throughout the first half. As Akiol out to Isick, lines up a 3. That's too strong. Back into the hands of Scruton. Spinning, working her way to the basket. Bacchus-Conte. That one doesn't drop.
I would have loved that.
I think the Richmond fans would have exploded had that gone in. So first a foul on Bade Isick, but that's means Manchester will be at the line. So Anya Williams will be shooting, but we've got a Richmond Knights timeout called.
First foul on Isaac, and she's played almost the entire game.
That's very impressive for Bade Isaac. She has 7 points, 4 rebounds and 4 assists. So
she's doing a great job controlling the tempo for Richmond. She's anticipating the passes. She's had a couple of last-second heaves, which I know they haven't gone in, but she's been able to steal the ball in those last seconds and really try and get Richmond some good looks.
And speaking of stealing the ball, she has 6 steals so far today. 12 steals for the Richmond Knights, and Richmond working their way inside. We've seen it, 30 points in the paint for them compared to Manchester's 22, but Manchester able to have that outside shot fall in, having hit 4 threes. Richmond also doing the same with 5 threes. So there's just not much in it, is there? Just the margins are so slim.
There really isn't, and it's only a 4-point game, and it really could go either way.
So for Richmond here, obviously Collins on the bench, that rebounding inside. You maybe lose a little bit off, but we have got Scruton back in, and she's done a fantastic job on the board so far, 5 rebounds.
She has, and she's had some great finishes as well, and just a little bit more composure.
So Williams at the line for Manchester. Gets the first to go. Takes her up to 14 points. A player that represented England at the Under-15s Junior NBA European Finals last summer.
Oh, big block by Scruton.
Friday's shot doesn't go. And again, we've got a jump ball called.
Richmond here, they need to stop Manchester getting those second chance opportunities. Manchester with 3 offensive rebounds in the same possession. I know they get the ball back eventually, but
you want to stop those before they're
stop it
happening.
earlier than that.
Akiol, Isaac. 3 doesn't fall, chased down by Jenkins. Malik controls it for Manchester. Adebayo inside. And who's there to clean it up and put it back in? Mojan Malik. Malik up to 19 points personal. And Manchester have stretched out the lead here, their biggest lead of the game so far, matching that 7-point lead in the first quarter.
And Collins is coming back in. Coach has said we need to get her in. She's got to play with these 3 fouls.
And with 1:15 left to play in the third, we'll also see Molly Barton back in for the Mystics. So that's an interesting decision by Coach Mubeen to put Collins in. Obviously, you don't want to let that gap get too far ahead. We've not had a lead bigger than 7. But with just a minute 15 to play, putting Collins in towards the end.
For sure, and you don't want to sit too long as well, because then you get cold, you get, you know, not as ready to come in, it's harder to stay engaged.
Malik to Barton. That's short, picked up by Isaac. Has Akiol up ahead, manages to keep control of it on the sideline. Knocked out by Manchester, but great composure there from Akiol. We'll see Isabel Oldcroft back in for Manchester. Aziza Adebayo to the bench. Scruton to Akiol. Saved by Barton, but it's back to Akiol, and Akiol finishes at the rim.
Oh, that's a tough one. And you're just going to get, that's going to come with experience. Do I need to save the ball? Is there a good chance it's going to my player, or is this going to put us at a disadvantage? Sometimes it's just better to leave it.
Jenkins round to Williams. Back to Jenkins, 3, half left, and it will be a Richmond ball. So Richmond have a chance to cut this to a single possession game here to end the third quarter. 20.9 seconds in the quarter. It's a 5-point Manchester lead. Manchester still picking up full court. Scruton's doubled, need to get it over the line. Akiol as back as Conte there. Doesn't go, and 7 seconds left in the quarter. Time for Manchester to put something up here. As Malik, 2 seconds, 1 second, banks it in! Mojan Malik with a big shot at the buzzer for the Manchester Mystics. What a shot to end the third quarter, under pressure.
That was a great finish there. Shot it over 2 people. Just to put that, that is tough. It's tough for Richmond to go into the end of the break like that, because they've been starting to do some more good things. They're starting, you know, they were containing that lead, getting ready to start building, and to start chipping away. Yeah, tough shot by Malik.
To go from 5 down to 8 down to go in the fourth, it's just that slightly more, but what a shot from Malik. Takes it up to a huge 22 points along with 10 rebounds, a double-double for her. 4 assists, 3 blocks and 2 steals. She really has just been doing everything, hasn't she?
She really has.
And alongside her, Anya Williams, 14 points, 7 rebounds and 2 assists. And for the Richmond Knights, Gianna Collins, 13 points for her, 8 rebounds, an assist and a block. And Ada Akiol, 10 points along with a rebound and an assist. So 10 more minutes of basketball to play, the biggest lead of the game so far for either team as Manchester head into the fourth quarter up 8. And again, a big thank you to everybody watching live on the Basketball England YouTube channel. Coming up after this game at 1:15, we'll have the Under-16 boys game, the London Stars against the Milton Keynes Breakers. So stay tuned to the Basketball England YouTube channel. Follow along on social media, loads of clips, all the highlights from all the games going on today. And then tomorrow, it's the turn of the senior, there's the camera. It's the turn of the seniors. And that will start at 1 o'clock, and the men's game at 4. So back underway for the fourth quarter. Work for Richmond to do here in the fourth. It was a 23-16 quarter for Manchester. And it will be Manchester to ball to start things off. Richmond need a strong defensive stance here to start the fourth. Holdcroft's shots too strong. Akiol racing down the court and finishes. And that's a great start there to the quarter for the Knights. Cuts the lead down to 6.
Really good start, and they're back to showing that zone, which is where Manchester struggled in the first half.
Holdcroft's doubled. And ball will go the way of Richmond. So straight out of the quarter break, 2 strong defensive stances there for the Knights.
Really, really good start for them.
Collins underneath the hoop. Carter Leroy thought about the shot, swings it out to Isick. Isick into Collins. Collins spins in the air, puts it in. And that's just the difference that Shea Collins makes out there on court.
For sure, Manchester needs to do a better job of just not letting her get the ball, try and box her out, get her as far away from the basket as possible.
Isick with the steal, saves it in, Carter Leroy. Back to Isick, a chance to make this a single possession game. Collins kicks it out. Isick has Scruton. Back out to Isick, short 2, doesn't fall, but Scruton and Holdcroft fighting for the rebound, stays with the Knights.
The momentum has definitely changed, you know, from Malik shooting that 3 at the end of the third to get Manchester hype. Richmond have come out fighting.
They certainly have. Having cut the lead in half, it's a 4-point game. Ball's in, Collins underneath the basket, rolls off the rim. Williams and Manchester coming back, that's too strong. As Scruton looks to go through the lane, Isick has Collins there. Collins met in the air by Barton. And Malik stepping through to the basket, just too short underneath. And Richmond, led by Akiol here, taking their time, setting things up. Collins, 3, too strong, tipped, chased down by Akiol. And a foul means it stays Richmond ball.
Manchester not playing like the team that's up at the moment. They seem to be second to everything. But not really boxing out.
Richmond feel like they've got the momentum here in the fourth. They're the team down 4.
Yeah, if I was coach Mubeen right now, I'd be super happy with that performance. Oh, sorry, I said a nice thing and then karma.
It's an offensive foul called on Richmond. That'll be on Collins, that's her 4th, so that's a big call for the Knights.
Really, really good.
At the other end, the Knights will get the ball back. Offensive fouls called on both ends, so that's on Barton, that's her 2nd, so it'll be Knights ball.
Still only down 4, plenty of time to get this game back.
Isick gets it to Scruton. Scruton with a short flow, so doesn't go, and again the ball's loose, chase down. This time it'll go with the Manchester Mystics after that jump ball. But you can see just as soon as that ball's up, both teams fighting for it. Malik round to Jenkins. Oldcroft to the cutting Malik. Collins comes up with it, racing down the court. Gianna Collins all the way to the basket, doesn't get it to fall. Picked up by Akiol. And a foul called on the Mystics.
No, but Anya Williams did a great job getting down the court to contest Collins.
She really has. So substitutions for Manchester as Marnie Friday, Tiana Walker, and Aziza Adebayo back into the game. Richmond ball, Scruton. Ball's loose. Friday has Adebayo up ahead. Back to Friday. Scruton gets there in time and blocks the shot. Akada Leroy picks it up. Long pass over to Isick. Scruton. Ball's knocked out of her hands, and it's Malik again for the Mystics. Walker to Adebayo, turns and fires. No good, but gets her own rebound, spins out. And Scruton trying to keep hold of the ball, so Richmond get it back. And it's still, we've been at this 4-point mark here, this 57-53 for a little while now. Both teams maybe getting a little bit.
We have, I think both teams are showing a little bit of fatigue now. You know, some of these players have played, you know, really high minutes. Just a couple of silly mistakes or passes that aren't quite strong enough. So again, it's 4 points, but it is anyone's game.
And it's been a 4-0 Richmond run so far this quarter in the last 4 minutes. Isick to Akada Leroy, gets it back. Scruton looking to go inside. Akyol to Isik. Good D there from Manchester. Akada-Leroy with space. Hits from behind the arc. Misha Akada-Leroy with a huge 3 for the Knights. Brings it back to a single possession game. 1 point lead for the Manchester Mystics over the Knights.
I'm glad they found her. She was open for about 6 seconds in the same spot.
Friday picks it up, out to Williams, looks to answer, and does! Anya Williams with a huge answer for the Mystics. Collins going to the basket.
Oh, no.
And that is going to be foul number 5 on Shayana Collins for the Richmond Knights, which means she will be out of the game. And that's really unfortunate for Collins.
So unfortunate, especially going out on an offensive foul. Great stand for the Mystics player there, but yeah, really tough.
So we saw how Manchester played with Collins on the bench for that short time in the third. So up 4 here, they can certainly look to try and take advantage of that.
Definitely, and they've got Scruton is a great target for them inside. She's doing a good job rebounding. She's crafty. She can finish at the rim. So Richmond still have plenty to get plenty on offer to take this game.
Absolutely. I was just going to say, we saw them putting the pressure on those runs, those steals. Akyol and Akada-Leroy, they've got a lot out there on the court as Isik over to Akyol. 3 won't go, and back with the Mystics, but still a lot of time here for Richmond, and they've been able to hit that outside shot. And when they've been able to stop Manchester, get those steals, and get out into transition, that's worked well for them. Walker. Jenkins puts up a 3. Not that time. Richmond ball. Four and a half minutes left in the fourth. Isik driving to the basket. That's too strong. She just had her foot on the baseline as she tried to save it in.
She's been fantastic today.
She really
She's
has.
been everywhere. Offensively, defensively, she's been disruptive. She's gone at players. She really, yeah, I've been really impressed by her today.
And she's done a lot of those things as well that don't show up on the stat sheet, just sort of making that extra pass, getting her hands in the way. As Williams drives the lane and finishes with a floater. And Williams now up to 19 points personal. Isik has Laycock. Laycock with a left-handed layup. What a finish.
A lovely basketball from Laycock there.
Four-point Mystics lead. Jenkins into Friday, handoff to Adebayo underneath the basket.
Adebayo has been solid today. She's come in, she's done her job, and she's done it really well.
She really has. A huge 6 rebounds. She's been really disruptive defensively. As Akyol drives to the hoop, is met by Walker, who forces the jump ball, and a substitution for Richmond. But we'll have a timeout first before we have a substitution. So a 6-point lead here for the Mystics over the Knights, 3:11 to play. Manchester able to withstand that comeback from the Knights the last few minutes. They look like they've sort of found their feet again, found their rhythm.
For sure, I think the pressure might have got to them a little bit, or the fatigue. They might have had a couple of tired legs, but they have managed to keep the lead. And this next 3 minutes and 11 seconds are going to be crazy.
They certainly are. So leading the way, leading all scorers, it's been Mojan Malik with 22 points and 9 rebounds and 4 assists, along with 3 blocks and 3 steals. Tanya Williams has 19 points and 9 rebounds for the Mystics. And for the Knights, Gianna Collins, 15 points, 9 rebounds and an assist. And Ada Akyol with 12 points and 2 rebounds and 2 steals. Bada Isik adding in 7 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists and 7 steals. So Richmond ball, 3:11 to play.
And it is getting louder in this gym.
It really is. We've got a good crowd building here at the National Basketball Performance Centre. Akyol looks to inbound. Issik's there to Scruton. Scruton trying to get inside. Isik finds a lane and puts it in. Puts the deficit to 4.
They're showing that zone again. This is where they've had so much success. Oh.
Just a bit too far of a reach on that, so that'll be a foul called on the Knights. They have a few to give. That's just their 3rd team foul. 2nd foul on Akada Leroy. So Manchester reset from the sideline. Walker to Williams. Walker gets it back into Friday. Pass is too strong. Akyol comes up with it. Isik will set things up. Scruton. Akyol out to Akada Leroy. Time running down, 6 seconds. Hand off to Laycock. Swings it to the corner. Akyol back to Akada Leroy. Needs to put something up, and that will be a shot clock violation. Some great defense there from Manchester. Richmond not able to get a shot up in time.
No, really good there. Every time they kicked it out, they were just there to try and to put off that 3. And in the end, just ran out of time.
Walker swings it to Malik. Ball's loose on the floor. Walker somehow comes up with it. As Malik hands it off to Friday underneath the basket. Shot doesn't go. Akyol over to Akada Leroy. Has Williams on her. Shot doesn't go. Put back in by Laycock.
Laycock demonstrating why she should always follow the fast break. You never know what's going to happen. Williams did a great job putting her off, making her miss the layup, but Laycock was there.
Adebayo with another rebound, but it's Richmond that take it away. Akada Leroy has Laycock behind her, going against Walker. And it's a 2-point game here, 1:20 to play. Williams into Adebayo, ball's knocked out of bounds. It's not knocked out of bounds, it's knocked out of her hands. Manchester get it back, 6 seconds. Williams won't fall, and it's Isik with the rebound. Akada Leroy's up ahead, calling for it. Scruton passes to Laycock into the hands of Isik. And ball is saved somehow by Williams and the Mystics.
And both teams doing a great job putting their bodies on the line, diving on the floor.
So we've got a substitution. Molly Barton and Jessica Jenkins in for Manchester. Adebayo and Friday to the bench. It's Manchester ball from the end line. Williams into Malik. Malik stepping through inside, off the rim. Richmond ball. Looking to tie the game here. Akada Leroy. Back to Isik. Isik. And a foul called on the floor. And that will put the Mystics on 5 team fouls. So Bade Isik at the line to shoot 2 to tie the game here. So 2 big shots for Isik and the Richmond Knights. First shot doesn't fall. That's okay for Richmond though. You can make the second. Even if you miss the second, you get another chance.
Yeah. Do you intentionally miss this one and get the rebound?
And
there we go.
Ball's on the floor, picked up by Malik. Great, called sideline out of bounds. That would have been a fantastic save in. Richmond really working hard to save the ball in. It's still a 2-point Manchester lead. Richmond are going to pick up full court here. They need to get a stop. Richmond to inbound. Long pass to Walker. And foul calls on the Knights. Stops the clock at 13.3. And the Knights with a foul to give, so that's just 14 fouls on the Knights. So Manchester will inbound again.
So Isik's been doing a great job shooting, passing lanes, stealing the ball.
Walker, time running down. Richmond needs a foul here. They'll foul Barton. Waited maybe a bit too long to do that.
Just a little bit. I was expecting Isik to come in, just take the ball out of everybody and get down the other end.
So third foul on Ocado Leroy. Molly Barton at the foul line, shooting 2. And some big free throws here for the Mystics. Barton doesn't get the first to go, so if she hits the second, it's a 3-point game. Gives Richmond a chance to tie with a 3. She misses the second, and Richmond can get the rebound and push the ball up the court. We've seen they can run fast. They've got 7.5 seconds to do it. But if your Manchester second doesn't go, Isik saves it in 5 seconds. Intercepted by Walker. A huge defensive play from Tiana Walker. Intercepts the ball for the Manchester Mystics. And that will do it. Congratulations to Manchester. A 64-62 win over the Richmond Knights. They're your under-16 Sure Shot Junior National Cup Final winners for the 2024-25 season. Huge all-round team performances. Mojan Malik with 22 points in the game, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals and 3 blocks. Anya Williams, 19 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists and 2 steals. Tiana Walker, 8 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals, and that huge interception at the end to keep the game for the Mystics. And for the Richmond Knights, an absolutely thrilling competition between these two teams. It was Shiana Collins leading the way for the Knights with 15 points, 9 rebounds, an assist and a block. Ada Akiol, 12 points for her, along with 3 rebounds and 3 steals. Bade Isik, 9 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists and 7 steals. So Hannah, just an absolutely fantastic game between both teams. Tough for Richmond, but they played a really great game.
So tough for Richmond, but both teams were fantastic today. It was a great showing. A really good defensive showing today. Manchester's full court press worked for them. It got them the win in the end. Richmond's zone got them back in the game when they went down a few. Really good basketball today at this level, and some really exciting players to be looking out for in the future.
Absolutely, and you know, this is only the under-16 age category. We're going to see these players a lot at the under-18 level, the under-20s and senior team. So a great showing from Richmond. Lots more to come from them. Watch out for these players throughout the rest of the season. But for the Manchester Mystics, a massive congratulations to them. 64-62 win over the Richmond Knights in a hard-fought, as you said, Hannah, just a really great defensive showcase of a game.
I was really impressed today. And big shout out to Bade Isaac. She played 40 minutes today. She is integral to this Richmond team, and I have no doubt they'll be back at Final Fours later in the year.
Absolutely, yeah. Bade had her fingerprints all over this game, doing a bit of everything out there on court. Just a player with a really bright future. You can catch her playing for the London Lions in the Super League this season as well. And for the Manchester Mystics, I mean, Mojan Malik, a huge 22 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double. She can do it on the defensive end, she can do it scoring-wise, and she came up really big when they needed her to.
Oh, for sure, and a great job again by Tiana Walker and Anya Williams, just really supporting there and having solid numbers. And Ade Adebayo, sorry, no, Aziza Adebayo, I've got the wrong name. She was fantastic today. She came in, she played limited minutes, and she was solid. She had six rebounds.
Five offensive rebounds
and just really solid defense today. So great job to Manchester, because they put in a really fantastic team performance. You should be really happy with themselves.
They certainly did. And I've just got to shout out Jessica Jenkins here as well. 2 points in the game, 6 rebounds, 3 steals, but a +10 in a game that Manchester won by 2. That's an incredibly impressive performance from her. And as you said, just a real all-round team effort, everybody getting involved. And congratulations to the Manchester Mystics as we wait for the winners' presentations. And then we'll try grab an interview with head coach Joe Andrew, previous coach for the under-14s Mystics. He's coached these players for a long time, alongside his assistants Nat Furtado, Remy Idowu and Chloe Andrew. And for Coach Mubeen, Coach Chanel Mubeen, assistant coach Lawrence Dow, and assistant Miriam Katshabe. They put on a great performance with their team. There's a lot more to come from this Richmond Knights team. Lots of really exciting young players out there on court. And a really bright future for them. So as we get ready for the presentations, thank you again to everybody watching live on the Basketball England YouTube channel. We're here all weekend long. It's the Sure Shot Junior National Cup Finals today and the Senior Finals tomorrow. Remember to like and subscribe. There's loads of content on the social media channels for Basketball England, NBL. And lots of great content out there. You can see behind the scenes action, all the teams getting ready, the best highlights, the best plays throughout today's game. As we get ready to present the runners-up medals to the Richmond Knights. Richmond Knights coming to collect their runners-up medals. Shaking hands with the Mystics. Just an absolutely fantastic showcase of women's basketball, of the talent that we've got in this country. Just a real back and forth game, in a game that no team led by more than 8. It was just back and forth throughout. And Richmond, they'll certainly be back on this stage. So coming up after the presentations, we will have the Under-16 boys game, the London Stars and the Milton Keynes Breakers. That's at 1:15, so stay tuned to the Basketball England YouTube channel. Coming up after that at 3:30, it will be the Under-18 women, the City of London Academy Southwark Pride against Endeavour Ipswich Basketball. And then rounding out the day at 5:45, the Under-18 men will be the Charnwood College Riders and the City of London Academy Southwark Pride. Manchester got to collect their winners' medals. Having last won the Under-16 National Cup in the 2022-23 season. Richmond taking home the title last year and Manchester taking it back. So that's a bit of a, we've got a bit of a rivalry bidding here, haven't we? Out of the last 3 years, it's been Manchester and Richmond winning. Let's see what happens in the future.
I mean, there's always time for replay at Final Fours.
There is. And you can get your tickets for the Final Four if you go on Basketball England events page on the website. Loads of action still to come. We have the Academy Finals coming up in March, the Dynamic National Schools Finals. There's always loads of basketball. And you can get your tickets now, so check out basketballengland.co.uk. As Manchester prepare for their trophy presentation and the MVP award, and it's a tough shout, isn't it, Hannah? I mean, we've had some really exceptional players out there on the Mystics: Mubeen Malik, Anya Williams, Tiana Walker coming up big on the defensive end.
Finishing with 22 points.
And it will be Mubeen Malik, the MVP, a massive 22 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals and 3 blocks. Congratulations to Mubeen. Put on an absolutely stunning performance for Manchester. Just, as we said, doing a bit of everything out there on court.
Yeah, a really, really good job for her.
And Captain Anya Williams will go and collect the trophy for Manchester.
And a captain's performance from her as well today.
Definitely. 19 points for Anya, 9 rebounds and 2 assists. Congratulations to the Manchester Mystics. They are your Under-16 Short Shot Junior National Cup finalist winners. The 2024-25 season, a hard-fought 2-point victory over the Richmond Knights, 64-62. A fantastic team performance. And just adding to the legacy and the trophy cabinet of Manchester basketball's heritage.
They're going to need to build another gym. One where they keep all the trophies and one for basketball.
So we're going to head courtside and get a quick word with assistant coach Nat Furtado of the Manchester Mystics. And get her thoughts on today's win. And again, thanks to everybody watching here live on Basketball England YouTube channel. Coming up after this game, the Under-16 boys will be tipping off at 1:15. The London Stars against the Milton Keynes Breakers. It will be a first-time cup winner for either of those teams. Whoever takes home the trophy, it'll be the first time for them. So make sure to lock in and stay tuned. And a big thank you to all our sponsors, Wilson, Sure Shot, Dynamic, UK Sport, and for Basketball England for putting on such a fantastic showcase. We've got a great crowd here at the National Basketball Performance Centre. If you're in the area, grab a ticket, come down. You can get them on the door. And then we've got the Senior National Cup taking place tomorrow from 1 o'clock. It'll be Endeavour Ipswich Basketball against the Brent Bulls, and at 4 o'clock in the men's game, the Hemel Storm against the Reading Rockets. So over to Isha and Nat Furtado courtside.
All right, thanks, guys. So, Nat, what a great game that was. I'm here courtside now with Mystics assistant coach Nat Furtado. Nat, brilliant game. How do you think the girls played?
Do you know what? The girls played really well. I mean, as a coach, you're always going to see things and you're going to want perfection. We always want to strive for perfection too, but at the same time, I think we really dug in when we needed to. I mean, there's a lot of noise on the court, so it's always hard instructing the girls and things like that, but there's some things that we just couldn't, messages that we couldn't get to them, but the girls managed to sort it out on court. we got the job done. Yeah, I can't really ask for much more from them, really.
Yeah, so initially, obviously, they came out in a man. You thought they were going to come out in a zone.
Yeah.
They came out in a man, and they switched back to the zone. It looked like you kind of struggled a bit there, settling for the outside shot quite a lot. How were you able to get through to the team to be able to score off that zone?
Yeah, so we had been practicing and been planning for them to come out in a zone. So being in a man, we're used to playing in a man, so that kind of fell into our hands, fell into our favour, I should say. So when they switched back to a zone, we did struggle at the beginning, struggling looking for those inside looks and those inside touches. Once we'd settled down, I think we began to see that those looks were open. We just need to have a bit more composure on the ball, keep our spacing as well, allow the ball to do the moving, hence to move the defence as well, and then let's get a better look inside as well.
Yeah, so obviously great win in the end. It's only halfway through the season though.
Yes,
what are the talks going to be for the rest of the season now?
So our last team talk then, just before we got our medal ceremony, was the job's not done. This is only halfway through, as we've said. We've got so many more games, still so many more things that we want to get through with the girls. The girls know that this is a long journey, so like we said, we're halfway there. Back into the lab, as we say. We've got practice, we've got games next week, so the work doesn't stop.
Yeah, good job, Nat. Hopefully we can do the same. Hopefully you can do the same thing at Final Four.
Yes, hopefully. Thank you.
We can take off now, I think.
Thanks, Isha. Great to get assistant coach Nat Furtado's thoughts on the game there. So that will do it for the Under-16 girls game. Congratulations to the Manchester Mystics. No, we have MVP Mojan Malik courtside with Isha Nair. We're going to speak to Mojan about her incredible performance today, a massive 22 points. Over to you, Isha.
All right, cool. Thanks, Kaz. I'm here courtside with Mojan Malik, MVP of that finals. Mojan, what a performance, 22 points, 10 rebounds, double-double. How does it feel to get that MVP?
It feels great. I feel like I've been training pretty hard for this, and it's always been like on a list of something that I want. Like I've always wanted a golden ball, and it just feels great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that was quite a struggle. It was a really up and down game. It was no real clear lead till the end. How as a team were you able to stay together and play through that?
I feel like communication really helped. We would talk to each other, and our coach, John Drew, would calm us down and keep us settled, and I think it really helped. Just communication and just staying calm.
Yeah, so communication is key. So I said to Nat before, obviously it's only halfway through the season, you've got home the cup final. Are the sights now on Final Fours, winning that?
Yep.
Yeah? So back in the lab next week, more training. Okay. Good job, Mojan. Well done on the MVP, well done on the win. Good job,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Isha. Thanks, Mojan. So we're going to take a quick break before we start the Under-16 boys game between the London Stars and the Milton Keynes Breakers. Thank you to everybody who's joined us here on the Basketball England YouTube channel. Make sure to stick around, and we'll be back at 1:15.